This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
Just not enough to get it up to that 50%. So we're at least hoping for a few more to show up after work today.
And so if you are someone who hasn't voted yet, you have about a half hour to get to your poll and cast your ballot. Election Day team coverage tops Channel 2 News at 6:30. There are 83 polling stations here in Washoe County for this midterm election, and they are every one of them, open until 7 o'clock tonight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Wendy DeMonte.
I'm Kristen Remington. Thanks for being with us this election night. You have about a half hour to go. We begin with team coverage of campaign 2014. Aaron Breen is live at the Registrar of Voters office after speaking with officials about how voting is going today. Paul Nelson and Ariana Bennett are live at the Republican and Democratic headquarters where watch parties are being held tonight.
And Jennifer Burton is live in the newsroom with a look at how some are gathering signatures at polling places for measures they hope to put on the 2016 ballots. Let's start with Aaron. Okay, is everything set there for the counting?
I tell you, everything is set and everything has gone smoothly here. Lots of extra hands. They have extra hands here for the security, for the bookkeeping, for counting the ballots once they do come in, for receiving all of the cartridges, and of course, a lot of extra media on hand. We're all waiting for the same thing, of course, and that's for the results to come in. But they say they've had about 25,000, just over that, voters head to the polls today. That comes out to about 39%. And that actually, for a voter turnout, is their only disappointment because that's historically low.
I kind of looked back over the last 20 years for a midterm election. The lowest that we've had is 51% turnout.
Oh, so this could be another low. Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. As much as I hate to acknowledge that, it's possible, yes.
Kind of incredible with all the ads that have been on the air for people to actually get some interest in it and come out and vote. But they do say it really has been steady. And that's since the early voting actually began all the way through till today. They've still got people drifting in to vote. After all of the polling areas have been closed, that's when things will get busy here.
Usually the first cars start pulling in 7:30, 7:45. Probably the most will appear between 8 and 8:30.
Hold on just a second. And you know what? That's when we will be here as well, when all of them start to come in. And of course, we'll have all the results for you as quickly as we can get them here. Covering campaign 2014, Aaron Breen, Channel 2 News.
All right, very good, Aaron. Thank you. Now let's head over to Ariana Bennett, live at Slice of the Peak in downtown Reno.
And that's where Democrats will be holding a watch party later tonight. Ari, they're trickling in now.
Yeah, very slowly starting to trickle in as people are finishing up their work at the polls and coming in to watch as the results come in. Obviously still kind of slow, but after 7 they do expect it to pick up. They expect about 100 people here tonight. Now this election is going to be interesting for the Democrats. There aren't a bunch of huge big ticket names with strong Democrat contenders, so voter turnout might not favor the Democrats this time around, but they tell me they are still optimistic. Now the biggest races are for congressional seat 2 and Nevada governor. Of course, they don't have strong Democrat candidates, but there are some smaller ticket races that are hotly contested. They'll be watching the Secretary of State race, Lieutenant Governor, some of the state Senate seats, state assembly seats, attorney general, and state treasurer, just to name a few. Now, if you do look at the early voting numbers, Republicans did have an edge in Washoe County and statewide, but they're hoping that Election Day might tip the balance a little bit with more Democrats coming out to vote today. Of course, as people start filing in and we get more responses, even some of the candidates coming here to Slice, we will bring you the very latest. Covering campaign 2014 live, Ariana Bennett, Channel 2 News.
All right, we'll check back in with you throughout the night. Ari, thank you. Meantime, Republicans are feeling pretty good about their chances tonight, especially as far as some of the incumbents are concerned. Governor Brian Sandoval and Congressman Mark Amodei are both expected to cruise into another term.
Yeah, they certainly are. Paul Nelson joins us live at the Pepper Mill with more from the GOP. Paul, how are things looking down there? Quite a few people now behind you.
Yeah, Wendy, things are starting to really pick up. This party started about 6 o'clock, a half an hour ago, and now people have started trickling in, and they're expecting to get really busy once 7 o'clock rolls around and the polls close. Now, they do have high hopes for this election. You mentioned Sandoval and Amodei, but they also have several seats open for state Senate and Assembly. Right now, Democrats have the majority in both houses and hold the Senate by 1. If early voting is any indication, the Republicans have a head start on the Democrats. Only about a quarter of registered voters headed to the polls early, but about 23,000 more of those were Republicans than Democrats statewide. Here in Washoe County, that gap was about 6,000 voters. GOP leaders say there's a good reason for it.
When the foundation of competence doesn't exist, as President Obama has shown us, now it makes people think one more time and say, is this the right direction? Is this what we want our country to be?
Now back here live at the Pepper Mill, some of the candidates are expected to be coming in here throughout the night. Some of them will be coming and going. They're expecting about 300 people to show up here. Covering Campaign 2014 live, Paul Nelson, Channel 2 News.
All right, Paul, thank you for now. We'll see you in a bit. And if you voted today, you may have been approached by someone asking for you to sign a petition.
You might be surprised to learn that is allowed in Nevada, but there are still some rules for in and around polling places. Jennifer Burton looked into what petitioners can and cannot do. Jen?
Well, Kristen, Nevada law allows people to gather signatures for petitions on Election Day as long as those petitioners stay a certain distance from the polling place.
Excuse me. Would you guys be interested in signing a petition?
This was the scene at Hidden Valley Elementary School today as people headed to the polls to vote. Marie Breen is gathering signatures on 2 petitions, one on legalizing marijuana, the other on background checks for guns.
What kind of reaction are you getting from voters today?
Either they want to sign or they don't.
What she's doing is legal according to Nevada law.
Some people have been opposed of me being here. They think it's not right, but I know my company here, Fieldworks, has gotten permission and that it is legal for me to be 100 feet from the door.
Certainly people can bring petitions to our polling places as long as they're outside that 100-foot marker. So it's not unusual on Election Day to see petitioners. I think there are several that are being circulated today, and it's something that we actually encourage as part of the process.
This may make some voters uncomfortable, but others say it's part of how our system works.
You don't actually see the people who are behind a petition. You only see the canvasser. So, I don't know. You have to make up your mind each case.
I'll do it as long as I can.
Washoe County Manager John Slaughter says poll managers are trained to enforce the rules.
This is my 4th polling place today, and I really have seen no issues with it. I think people are approached by the petitioners, and if they want to engage, they do. If not, they are just walking right past them. So there's not really been a problem today.
County Manager John Slaughter said politicians are also allowed to campaign on Election Day at public polling places as long as they stay 100 feet away from the door. Covering Election 2014 live in the newsroom, Jennifer Burton, Channel 2 News.
Jen, thank you. And of course, we will keep you posted once results start coming in after the last ballot is cast at 7 o'clock tonight.
But as we saw earlier today, plenty of voters are happy to sound off on who they voted for and why. John Potter takes us to the polls.
A sleepy Tuesday at Spanish Springs High School, but a very big day for 19-year-old Colton O'Gorman, who today cast his very first vote. One of those milestones that's hard to put into words.
You know, first time voting. I didn't really know what to expect, but it was good, I guess.
A few voting machines away, Victoria Moore had been waiting to do this for weeks. She could have early voted, but it just wouldn't be the same.
It just makes you feel better when you vote on Election Day for me.
She had a favorite candidate, but really wanted to vote against someone.
It's against Obama.
But he's not even running.
I know, but we need more Republicans. We need to get Obamacare out.
And so it went. After the morning rush, turnout was slow today, but the steady stream coming in here to the Spanish Springs High School gymnasium was a nice surprise for poll workers who, in talking with voters, got a sense of the mood this election day.
People are interested in the issues this year, and I think they want to come in and vote on those, and they have an interest.
Brad called it. Folks we met didn't have a candidate in mind so much as an issue or a complaint.
This country, as far as I'm concerned, is going down the tube. We have to make a change and get back for what we stand for.
Taxes brought David Moore to his polling place.
Question number 3, I do not want more taxation. I do not want more stuff happening than what we already have.
Without a presidential or Nevada Senate race, issues like these kept up the interest in the voters coming in. But besides the interest, we also detected a bit of weariness.
I guess it's over, yeah, for another 2 years, and then we're back to the drawing board again on it, you know. So,
well, enjoy it while it lasts.
Yes, all right, thank you.
Covering Campaign 2014, John Potter, Channel 2 News.
And Channel 2 News and CBS News will be staying on top of all the races, both locally and across the country tonight. After the polls close here shortly at 7, CBS News will have an hour of election coverage, and we will have 2 local updates that hour, then an update each hour after that. Starting at 10 o'clock, CBS News and Channel 2 News will have another hour of election coverage, capped off with a special edition of Channel 2 News at 11. We'll also be updating election results at the bottom of your screen as they come in all night long. And of course, we'll have our results on our website and on Facebook and Twitter. So please stay with Channel 2 News for Campaign 2014 continuing coverage.